The Horse and the Little Boy. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by rolling green hills, there lived a little boy named Ahmed. Ahmed was kind-hearted but shy, and often felt like he didn't belong among the other children. He spent most of his time wandering the fields, lost in his daydreams. One sunny morning, as Ahmed explored the outskirts of the village, he stumbled upon a beautiful but neglected horse tied to a post near an abandoned barn. The horse, a majestic creature with a gleaming chestnut coat and a white star on its forehead, looked sad and hungry. Ahmed approached cautiously, sensing the horse's pain. "Hello there," he whispered softly. The horse flicked its ears and nickered in response. Ahmed quickly ran back home, gathering all the apples and hay he could find. Over the next few days, he visited the horse daily, feeding it, brushing its coat, and talking to it as if it could understand every word. As time passed, the horse grew stronger and more spirited. Ahmed named him Shahbaz, meaning royal falcon, because of the horse's grace and regal demeanor. Shahbaz seemed to form a deep bond with Ahmed, neighing joyfully whenever the boy approached. One evening, Ahmed overheard the village elder speaking to his parents about a grand horse race that was to be held in the neighboring town. The winner would receive a golden trophy and a large sum of money. Ahmed had never ridden a horse before, but he couldn't shake the feeling that Shahbaz was meant to race. With trembling hands, Ahmed mounted Shahbaz for the first time. The horse seemed to sense his nervousness and stood steady as a rock. Slowly, the boy and the horse began to practice together every day. Their bond grew stronger, and they moved as if they were one being. On the day of the race, the villagers gathered to see Ahmed and Shahbaz compete. Many doubted they could win against seasoned riders and their powerful horses. But as the race began, Shahbaz surged forward with incredible speed, his hooves thundering across the ground like a heartbeat. Ahmed held on tightly, whispering words of encouragement. In the final stretch, it seemed impossible for Shahbaz to catch up to the leading horse. But with a burst of determination, Shahbaz galloped like the wind, crossing the finish line just a nose ahead. The crowd erupted into cheers. Ahmed was awarded the golden trophy and the prize money, but more importantly, he and Shahbaz became the pride of the village. From that day on, Ahmed was no longer the shy boy who wandered alone. He was the boy who had the heart of a horse and the spirit of a champion. And so Ahmed and Shahbaz continued their journey together, a boy and his horse, proving that kindness, trust, and determination could conquer anything. The journey beyond the race. After their remarkable victory, Ahmed and Shahbaz became inseparable. They spent their days exploring the forests, rivers, and hills around the village. Shahbaz, now vibrant and full of life, seemed to thrive under Ahmed's care. The villagers admired their bond, often saying that it was as if Shahbaz could understand Ahmed's very thoughts. One day, a traveling merchant arrived in the village, bringing with him tales of far-off lands, bustling cities, and new opportunities. Among the crowd that gathered to listen, Ahmed's curiosity was piqued. He learned of a legendary equestrian tournament held in the king's capital. It was said to be a grand event, where the bravest riders and fastest horses competed for the king's favor. The idea of competing in such a grand event ignited a spark in Ahmed. He decided to take Shahbaz to the capital, not just to race, but to prove that even a humble village boy and his once abandoned horse could achieve greatness. His parents, though hesitant, saw the determination in his eyes and gave him their blessing. The journey to the capital. Ahmed and Shahbaz set out at dawn. The journey was long and filled with challenges. They crossed rivers, navigated dense forests, and braved sudden storms. Along the way, they encountered travelers who shared food and stories, teaching Ahmed about the world beyond his village. In one forest, they stumbled upon a trapped deer struggling in a hunter's snare. Ahmed quickly freed the frightened animal, and as it leapt away, he noticed an elderly man watching him from the shadows. The man, impressed by Ahmed's kindness, revealed himself to be a horse trainer from the capital. He offered to teach Ahmed advanced riding techniques and strategies for the upcoming tournament. Ahmed eagerly accepted, and under the old man's guidance, his bond with Shahbaz deepened even further. The grand tournament. When Ahmed and Shahbaz finally reached the capital, they were awestruck by its grandeur. The streets buzzed with excitement as riders from across the kingdom prepared for the tournament. Ahmed felt small among the finely dressed nobles and their sleek, well-bred horses. But Shahbaz stood tall, his chestnut coat gleaming in the sunlight, drawing admiring glances from onlookers. The tournament was grueling, with events testing speed, endurance, and agility. Ahmed and Shahbaz faced fierce competition, including a proud nobleman named Sir Jamal, whose black stallion was undefeated. Despite the pressure, Ahmed remained focused, whispering to Shahbaz as they prepared for each challenge. In the final race, Ahmed and Shahbaz found themselves neck and neck with Sir Jamal. The crowd held its breath as the two horses thundered down the track. At the last moment, Shahbaz made an extraordinary leap over an obstacle, surging ahead to claim victory. The king, impressed by their performance, awarded Ahmed the championship trophy and a royal medallion. He declared Shahbaz the finest horse in the land and invited Ahmed to join the royal stables as an honorary equestrian trainer. But Ahmed humbly declined, explaining that his heart belonged to his village and the simple life he cherished. A legacy of hope. Ahmed and Shahbaz returned to the village as heroes. Their story inspired others to believe in themselves and to treat animals with kindness and respect. Ahmed used his winnings to improve the village, building a school where he taught children not just academics, but also the values of compassion and perseverance. As the years passed, Ahmed and Shahbaz's story became a legend, a tale told to inspire future generations. Shahbaz, now a symbol of freedom and resilience, was often seen galloping across the fields, carrying Ahmed on his back, reminding everyone that even the most ordinary beginnings can lead to extraordinary journeys. A new call to adventure. Years passed, and Ahmed grew into a wise young man, beloved by his village. Shahbaz, now in his prime, remained a loyal companion. Though their lives were peaceful, Ahmed often wondered what lay beyond the horizon. The world seemed vast, and his heart yearned for more adventures. One day, a royal envoy arrived in the village, bearing a golden scroll. The king had summoned Ahmed and Shahbaz to the capital once more. This time it was not for a tournament, but a matter of great urgency. A neighboring kingdom had challenged the king's sovereignty, and to avoid war, a high-stakes challenge had been proposed. A race through the treacherous desert of the scorching dunes. The victor would secure peace, but failure would mean conflict. The king believed Ahmed and Shahbaz were the only ones capable of winning this impossible race. The challenge filled Ahmed with apprehension, but he knew he could not refuse. With the blessings of his family and villagers, Ahmed prepared to embark on his most dangerous journey yet. The Desert Challenge. Ahmed and Shahbaz set off for the scorching dunes. The desert was vast and unforgiving, with scorching heat by day and freezing winds at night. Along the way, they encountered their rival, Prince Khalid, a skilled rider with a fearsome black mare named Zafira. Khalid was confident in his victory, often taunting Ahmed. As the race began, Ahmed quickly realized this was no ordinary competition. The desert was filled with hidden dangers, shifting sands, sudden sandstorms, and venomous creatures. Shahbaz's sharp instincts and Ahmed's unwavering trust in his steed helped them navigate the perilous terrain. One night, as they camped under the stars, Ahmed heard a faint cry for help. He followed the sound to find Prince Khalid trapped in a collapsing sandpit. Despite their rivalry, Ahmed could not leave him behind. He tied a rope to Shahbaz's saddle and used the horse's strength to pull Khalid to safety. Khalid, humbled by Ahmed's kindness, admitted that he had misjudged him. "You're not just a great rider," Khalid said. "You're a true hero." From that moment on, a bond of respect formed between the two competitors. The final stretch. As they approached the finish line, Ahmed and Khalid were neck and neck. A sudden sandstorm swept across the desert, blinding both riders. Ahmed remembered the old horse trainer's advice: "Trust your horse. They see what we cannot." Closing his eyes, Ahmed let Shahbaz guide him through the storm. When the storm cleared, Ahmed and Shahbaz emerged ahead of Khalid. With a final burst of speed, Shahbaz crossed the finish line first, securing victory and peace for the kingdom. The crowd erupted in cheers as the king declared Ahmed a hero once again. A new legacy. Ahmed and Shahbaz returned to the village, their bond stronger than ever. Prince Khalid visited often, becoming a trusted ally and friend. Together, they worked to bridge the gap between their kingdoms, fostering peace and unity. Ahmed's adventures became legendary, inspiring ballads and stories told across the land. But he never let fame change him. He remained the humble boy who had once saved a neglected horse, proving that courage, kindness, and trust could change the world. As for Shabazz, he continued to gallop across the fields with unmatched grace, a symbol of hope and resilience. And though their adventures slowed with time, the bond between Ahmed and Shabazz remained unbreakable, a reminder that extraordinary journeys often begin with a single act of kindness. A growing legend. As Ahmed and Shahbaz settled back into their peaceful lives in the village, their story continued to spread far and wide. Travelers came from distant lands to meet the boy and his extraordinary horse, seeking wisdom, inspiration, or simply to witness the bond between them. Ahmed welcomed them all, sharing tales of his adventures and emphasizing the values of compassion and resilience. One day, an elderly scholar named Zion arrived in the village. He had spent his life studying the ancient prophecies and legends of the kingdom. Ahmed, the scholar said, you and Shahbaz are destined for something far greater. There is an ancient legend about a star rider, a chosen one who, with their loyal steed, would unite the fractured lands and bring everlasting peace. I believe you are that star rider. Ahmed was taken aback. I'm just a simple villager, he replied. How could I fulfill such a destiny? Zion smiled. Sometimes greatness finds those who least expect it, but the journey will not be easy. It will test your courage, your wisdom, and your bond with Shabazz. The quest for the Starstone. Zion revealed that the key to fulfilling the prophecy was the Starstone, an ancient gem said to hold the power to heal broken lands and hearts. The Starstone had been lost for centuries, hidden in the mysterious Valley of Shadows, a place few dared to enter. Despite his doubts, Ahmed knew he could not ignore this calling. With Shahbaz by his side, he set out once more, accompanied by Zion, who served as a guide and mentor. Along the way, they encountered allies. A young healer named Layla, whose knowledge of herbs and remedies was unmatched, and Tariq, a skilled blacksmith with a heart full of bravery. The journey to the Valley of Shadows was fraught with challenges. They faced bandits, navigated treacherous mountains, and solved riddles to unlock ancient pathways. Each obstacle tested their resolve, but Ahmed's unwavering bond with Shabazz and the support of his companions kept them moving forward. The Valley of Shadows. After weeks of travel, the group finally reached the Valley of Shadows. The land was eerie and silent, shrouded in perpetual twilight. Legends spoke of a guardian that protected the Starstone, and as they ventured deeper into the valley, they encountered it. A massive spectral lion with glowing eyes. The lion roared, its voice echoing like thunder. Who dares disturb the peace of this valley? Ahmed stepped forward, his voice steady despite his fear. I am Ahmed, and this is Shabazz. We seek the Starstone to bring unity and peace to the lands. The lion studied them for a moment before saying, Peace cannot be won by strength alone. Show me the true bond between rider and steed. The lion conjured a labyrinth filled with illusions designed to confuse and separate Ahmed and Shahbaz. But Ahmed trusted Shahbaz's instincts, and Shahbaz trusted Ahmed's guidance. Together, they navigated the maze, their bond unshaken. Impressed, the lion stepped aside, revealing the Starstone, its light illuminating the valley. You have proven yourselves worthy. Use this gift wisely. A new dawn. With the Starstone in hand, Ahmed and his companions returned to the capital. The stone's power was beyond imagination. It healed the land, strengthened alliances, and resolved old conflicts. The kingdoms that had been divided for centuries came together under a pact of unity, inspired by Ahmed's courage and Shahbaz's loyalty. The king declared Ahmed the kingdom's ambassador of peace, a role he humbly accepted. But Ahmed chose to live simply, traveling with Shahbaz and his friends to spread the message of hope and unity. The eternal bond. Years later, as Ahmed grew older, Shahbaz remained by his side, his spirit as fiery as ever. Together, they became a living legend, their story passed down through generations. And though their adventures eventually came to an end, the legacy of Ahmed and Shahbaz endured, a reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can lead to the grandest destinies. In every corner of the land, children grew up hearing tales of the Star Rider and his loyal horse, dreaming of a world united by trust, courage, and compassion. The Starstone's new mission. Ahmed and Shahbaz lived their lives as symbols of peace and unity, traveling the lands to heal and inspire. The Starstone remained a beacon of hope, stored safely in the royal temple, but Ahmed always felt its power was meant for something greater. One day, a mysterious traveler arrived at the village, carrying news of unrest in a distant land across the sea, a kingdom fractured by greed and mistrust. The traveler explained, "The people there need someone like you, Ahmed. They need the Starstone's light to guide them. Will you bring its power to them?" Though Ahmed longed to remain in his village with Shahbaz, he knew his duty wasn't confined to one place. With the king's blessing, he and Shahbaz, along with Zayan, Layla, and Tariq, prepared for a new journey, one that would take them beyond the known world. The voyage across the sea. Their journey across the sea was treacherous. The group boarded a sturdy ship, and Shahbaz, though uneasy at first, quickly adjusted to the swaying deck. As they sailed, storms tested their resolve, and whispers of sea creatures stirred fear among the crew. But Ahmed's unwavering spirit and Shahbaz's calm presence reassured everyone. One fateful night, a tempest struck, and their ship was tossed like a leaf on the waves. Just when all seemed lost, Shahbaz let out a powerful neigh, drawing Ahmed's attention to a distant light. Steering the ship toward it, they found an island where they could shelter. There they discovered ancient carvings that spoke of the Starstone's origins, a gift from the heavens meant to unite not just one kingdom, but all the world. This revelation strengthened their resolve. They repaired their ship and set sail once more, finally reaching the distant kingdom of Etheria. A kingdom in chaos. Etheria was a land of contrasts. Its landscapes were breathtaking, but its people were divided. The king had grown greedy, imposing heavy taxes that left the poor in despair. Rebellions brewed in the shadows, and the once thriving kingdom teetered on the brink of collapse. Ahmed and his companions sought an audience with the king, who was skeptical of their intentions. "What can a boy and his horse do for a kingdom as broken as mine?" he sneered. Ahmed replied humbly, "A kingdom is not built on riches, but on trust, unity, and compassion. Let us show you what the Starstone can do." The healing of Etheria. Ahmed traveled the land with Shabazz, using the Starstone to mend rifts and heal the sick. In one village, he helped a group of rebels see that their fight against the king was hurting innocent people. In another, he convinced the king's soldiers to lay down their weapons and listen to the cries of the oppressed. Shabazz played a vital role, often acting as a bridge between people. His majestic presence seemed to calm even the most hardened hearts. Children adored him, and elders saw him as a symbol of hope. Slowly, Etheria began to heal. The king, moved by Ahmed's selflessness, finally understood his own flaws. He vowed to rule with fairness and compassion, and with Ahmed's guidance, he began rebuilding trust with his people. A world united. As Etheria flourished, Ahmed realized that the Starstone's mission was not over. There were other lands that needed its light, other people who could benefit from its power. He decided to pass the Starstone to a council of wise leaders in Etheria, ensuring its power would continue to guide future generations. Ahmed and Shabazz returned home, their hearts full, but their bodies weary. They had fulfilled their destiny, uniting lands and leaving a legacy of